Well, for the last talk of the day, we have JakPanik from Iteration. JakPanik is a galactic council from Hydra DX, so he will present Iteration is jamming. Welcome, JakPanik.
Hello. My name is Jakub. I'm CTO of Intergalactic, and we're building Hydration. So today I want to go to talk about a new feature, but first I would like to repeat what we built for the new people that maybe don't know, and then we'll go into the near future, and then at the end we'll a little bit theoretize about the more further future. So, what is Hydration? Hydration is a decentralized DeFi token-governed app chain built on top of Polkadot. We have many features. I will list them. So we have Uniswap two-like pools. We have liquidity bootstrapping pools similar to Balancer LBPs. You can pay fees for transactions with any tokens on our chain. We have obviously the Omnipool, which is the main feature of the Hydration chain, where you don't need to provide second token to provide liquidity. Then we have StableSwap. We have also farms. Right now there is a chunky liquidity farming incentive program. We also built bonds palette. We have DCA, so you can dollar cost average your trades. And we have permissionless asset registry. Also OTC, where you can put your swap on chain and somebody can fill it for you. So we are de facto DeFi hub. And for this, we also built EVM compatibility layer because it allows users to flow into the ecosystem without any problems from Ethereum. And of course, DeFi Hub is not complete without lending and borrowing. So we will be launching our lending platform in roughly 3 weeks, TM. And after this, there will be a stablecoin called Holler. But this is not what I want to talk about today. I came to present you something that we were working on and maybe you don't know. And that is ICE, Intent Composing Engine. In intent-based system, users define what they want to do, but they don't specify how they want to achieve it. And there are actors, which are called solvers, that make sure it happens. So what is an intent? Intent is just a result, what you want to have, what you want to accomplish without a specific way to do this. Here you can see how it looks like. It basically has origin, ID, and inside is a swap. Basically, all intents currently will be swaps. So inside, you can see its asset pair, type of swap, is it buy or sell? And then you have a balance and price that you want to execute at. Now, we have some metadata that are a little bit special to us. One is partial, if you allow your intent to be partially filled. Now, there is standard metadata, like a deadline where the swap is valid. And now, a little bit more interesting stuff. We have hooks. So after this intent is executed, you can specify any extrinsic that you want to call to basically fire. So what you could do is post an intent. I want to swap 3 dots every month with DCA, for example, and then transfer it to my other parachain account or to some other contract that I want to do something with. Maybe restake, I don't know. And then we have basic stuff so that you are not replayed, non-transaction mortality and signature. And one more thing, this is important. If the intent should be protected, it means that the intent will be posted on chain. This is the default mode that will work in the beginning, because normally you don't need intents to be posted on chain. You just send it to solvers, but this has a risk of you to be front-run basically by some market manipulators. And of course, signature. So the plan is for this to be completely compatible with the cross-chain intent standard. And this will be important, as you will see later. But we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to plug into something that is already being built. OK, what is a solver? Solver is actor that composes intents off-chain into a solution that is posted on-chain. And then it is frozen into a block and validated. So solver needs to provide a bond with intent submission because not because he uses it for matching, which is a little bit different from other systems, but because he can basically spam the chain if he posts wrong solutions, and we don't want to do this. The solver can have custom implementation of the solving logic. We have just a set of rules which he needs to honor and that are checked on chain. And also, solver can, anybody basically can post backrunning swaps that will be special swaps which can improve the solution. This will also be later used for different features like bridging. So, as I said, solvers don't need liquidity for local solution because they are matching transactions against Omnipool. So every transaction that is coming in is getting routed, matched, and then the rest is traded back to Omnipool. And as such, you don't need liquidity like, for example, in other solver-based systems. So the solution is just a set of instructions for the block builder to execute the intents. So basically, a list of transfers and some more metadata on top. Solution is scored. There will be criteria. First is like a volume match. And there will be other ones to make sure that we don't see a lot of MEV. Only the best intent is posted on chain, and that is later executed based on the score. And it is validated by executing. So we don't validate if the solution posted is valid, and that's why we need the bond from the validator. We just validate it at the execution time. If it's invalid, it gets rejected, and the bond is slashed. And as I said, it's matched against Omnipool initially. So what you will see right now at the beginning is that intents are collected, sent to RPC collator, and put inside of the block. This is not going to be the case in the next version, but for now, this is the case. Solver will observe this block, make a solution, and post the solution in the next block. This is how it looks like. So basically, you are grouping some transfers posted in the solutions, put it to block, and validate, execute, and also do fallback swaps. So if your intent is not matched, you can still be matched against on-chain liquidity, and then that basically means that you have higher chance of filling your transaction. So what does it mean? It's simpler to compose because we are basically utilizing a new standard that is going to be everywhere. And with the hooks, you can build many different use cases and programs on top of hydration, which you cannot do in other systems. So you will have less MEV because one block has unified execution price, and the rules try to make sure that we don't have this. Of course, you'll have improved execution price because you don't have slippage as you have when you're trading against the pool. And last but not least is scaling, and that we'll cover in the last part of the presentation. So the most important thing is that we have a custom chain, and that allows us to upgrade. When we see something is working, we can tweak it. Something isn't working, we can tweak it. And we can prioritize. We can prioritize transactions. We can prioritize actions such as liquidations. And this gives us a really big competitive advantage. So this is what we will build next, right after the launch. We want instant executions, not in the next block. We will implement this with our money market to build soft liquidations. We also want to build feeless intent submission. So basically, you will maybe need some small bond of DOT on the chain, but posting intents after this will be free. You can also cancel before it gets included. So, and also, what we are thinking about and is farther is private transactions. This doesn't mean really private transactions, but private intent submission, which means that your intent will not be visible unless it's solved to the solver. But this is more for. So what we need? We need XCM API for this so that anybody can plug in. I would maybe hope that we can integrate it into XCM itself in a way, because it's. I think it's going to be a new paradigm in how we use liquidity, and then we'll need to reorder our blocks. So basically, current block doesn't care what transactions come first, but for this to work, we need to do that. So we need to put the solution execution and liquidations first. Then we'll put something like DCA setup, fallbacks of other transactions, and then everything else. To do this, we will need to do some tweaks for nonce, for example, so that you can submit more transactions in the same block and don't get canceled. And there is a bunch of other stuff, but we already know how to do this, so it's just a way forward. We'll need to rewrite DCA because right now it runs on initialize. And this is not the greatest solution. So after we have this intent system, DCA can just post intents on chain, which means it's better for you as a DCA. You will have better execution, basically. And it's much harder to front run you or sandwich you in this way. We need to upgrade the OTC. And we'll talk a little bit later about sharding of intent submissions from the other functionality that we have. And last, cross-chain solving, which we'll cover in the last part. So what about the gem? Let's theorize a little bit. This is what we would want to do, like now. We can split intent submission chain from settlement chain. We just need the proofs later to for this to be safe. It's doable even right now without gem, but this means that anybody can submit intent to our system from any chain, basically. We could maybe with gem do also this, like intent submission would take 2 seconds instead of 6 seconds, and that means like much better UX for the users. But this, I will live with this. Like gem is basically has a sequencer and work packages, and this looks awfully similar to hydration chain and solution posting. So what we could do is solve different more used markets separately in separate cores. And then hydration would just settle all of this and sequence it and put it on the chain. What we can also do is have a remote hydration contract on Ether, for example, where solvers would have the collateral, and this would allow us to instantly execute cross-chain transactions as long as there is enough liquidity that wants to be settled at the price. So that means solver will put up his liquidity, and on one chain, somebody poses intent that I want to swap hydration to Ether and send it to Ether chain. And solver can do this instantly for a fee, and the money will be put into escrow contract, and then the escrow contract will send the message through the bridge, something like hyperbridge, and the funds will be released after some time. So basically, intent solvers are timing the market and make transaction instant. So, yeah, that is IceGem. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope you have a nice rest of the conference. Stay hydrated, not liquidated.
Any question?
Hey, thanks for the great talk. So I'm wondering about the solver. As far as I understand, that's happening off-chain, right? So how do you verify that the submitted solution is the best solution?
Solvers rate the solutions themselves based on some rules, and once they put it on chain, it needs to check out with what they said. If it doesn't, then they are slashed. So basically, there are rules that say like this is score for the solution, and if it doesn't match after it's put on chain, then this happens.
So basically, they submit like a whole ranking of solutions, and okay, gotcha. Cool, thanks.
Any other question? No questions? Okay. Well, thank you so much